it's me, it's PMFM, and I'm dressed as a metaphor for the American dream today. It's a spirit day at school today. Dress as your favorite literary character, which I'm excited about. Was excited about. School day's over. I don't make these videos before school. That would require, I don't know. No. Anyway, today I have an interesting thought I want to talk about, but first I just kind of want to touch base again, I guess, considering the last video I made was not very happy, and the next video was just an interesting video, I hope. I haven't actually edited it yet. I'm planning to do that soon, about the Olympia Arts Walk, but more specifically the two parades. I want to check in and just say that things were a bit rough for a little bit. Things are now pretty good. I'm feeling a lot better. You know, still a sense of frustration, but that's going to be there. Now, the source of stress is more the fact that we're getting close to the end of the year, and I'm having to deal with that. The end of the year is never a super fun time because you run out of time, and you have this very hard deadline. When a semester ends, you can kind of just say, well, you know, it's not super important that I finish this lesson. That lesson can continue. When the year ends, you need to make sure that your lessons are going to last exactly until the end of the year. You also need to make sure that you're not really giving any super important large assignments near the end of the year, because you need to have A, time for yourself to grade, and B, time for your students to get missing assignments turned in. It's an interesting balance to have to walk, but it's cool. I'll get it done. But what I want to talk about today is an idea that I heard brought up in a podcast that I enjoy listening to. And it was this idea that the reason some people really don't like sitting around waiting, and the reason it really bothers some people a lot more than it bothers other people, is because some of us really don't like being alone with our thoughts, because those thoughts are unhealthy a lot of the time. And I don't think this universally applies. I think that there are probably a lot of people who really hate waiting who are relatively mentally healthy. But man, that spoke to me as someone who really considers myself a workaholic. I don't have a huge problem in a waiting room or something like that. But where I have problems is if I don't feel like I am being productive. If I spend a weekend just relaxing the whole weekend, by mid-afternoon on Sunday, I'm gonna be in a bad mental space, because I'm gonna have had too much time with my own thoughts, and those thoughts are going to get into an unhealthy cycle, and it's gonna be bad for me. And so I know that I have to be productive all the time, basically. I can, I relax on a daily basis for a little bit, but I can't, I have a really hard time relaxing for a long time. So like this last spring break, I didn't do much, but I was constantly going to see people, and so most of the days, not all of them, but most of the days, I had a thing that I knew I was doing that day that was going to take up a good chunk of that day. And so as long as I could tell myself, I did this. I saw Luce today. I had a barbecue with Lauren's parents today. I went and saw my sister today. I could say, I did something today. I did something meaningful. But when I don't do that, and there have been times when I've not done that, there have been plenty of weekends where I didn't have anything to do, and I know the summer is quite possibly going to be rough for me. There's always this kind of threat of me getting really down in the dumps over the summer because I don't have things to do, at least not every day. And it had never really 100% occurred to me to make that connection of the reason I am a workaholic, the reason I need to be productive is because there's these thoughts. They're kind of always there, but I can distract myself from them. It's not necessarily that I'm somehow getting worse over these inactive periods. It's the fact that these things that are always present are being allowed to come to the forefront. It just makes a lot of sense to me. My family has a history of addiction, so I'm familiar with the concept that addiction is a disease, that it's something that you will never be cured from. An alcoholic is an alcoholic, whether they are drinking daily or have been sober for 20 years. That sober person is still an alcoholic. And that's obviously controversial for some people. It's not to me. I completely accept it. And the idea that, oh, these thoughts are always there. These unhealthy, depressive thoughts are always there. I just sometimes can distract myself from them was not something that had occurred to me before. And to be clear, I am nowhere near diagnosable in any of my things, but they're there in minor ways, and it's interesting to hear ways to deal with them. Future me, how are things? How was the summer? You staying busy? Staying productive? I hope so. I hope you're still young. It's okay if you're not.